Do you feel like soloing is just out of your reach or just too frustrating for you to improve upon? It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're further along in your guitar journey, soloing is definitely possible for any player. And what we're going to cover today will get you soloing with much more confidence and musicality than you've ever had before. One of the biggest mistakes we make as guitarists is we tend to compare ourselves to some of the greatest guitar heroes out there. It's only natural for us to want to play like our heroes because those are the ones who probably inspired us to play in the first place. But what happens is we see someone who's been playing forever and we want to achieve that as soon as possible. We start thinking we have to know 100 different scale shapes and 500 arpeggios and so on. The truth is, what makes your guitar hero sound great isn't necessarily an impeccable knowledge of the fretboard. It's knowing how to be musical with what they do know. And that can be one scale shape, one arpeggio, or even less than that. And that's what we want to discuss today, being musical with what you can play as opposed to worrying about what you can't play. We're going to take a few examples of where guitarists get stuck with soloing and show you how to very easily turn them into something musical. By the way, if you're just getting started with soloing, make sure to download my free Beginner Soloist Handbook. It contains scale shapes and arpeggios and resources so that you have it all in one place. The link is in the description below. Probably the number one place guitarists get stuck is trying to solo in the standard minor pentatonic box, such as this one. The A minor is what we're playing here. What happens is we tend to solo in a very scalar fashion like I just played it, and that doesn't sound musical at all. Now I think it's absolutely fine to use these shapes, especially if that's all you know, the box 1 minor pentatonic. But what you have to tell yourself is to stop playing the entire shape. Focus on only 4 fret positions at a time. So for example, if I'm going to play these 4 fret positions, that's all I can draw from. I can sit here and I can do bending, I can do vibrato, I can do things to liven it up, but I'm focused on a very small portion of the scale at one time. And by playing only those 4 fret positions, you can't possibly sound scalar, and you'll end up making better note choices with your better focus on the music. So you got rid of the scalar sound by limiting your choices, but now you feel like you're repeating your ideas too much and really stuck in one position, playing the exact same patterns over and over. Well, how about we play the same minor pentatonic notes, but do them in a shape that we can copy and paste across the neck. Now this will allow us to have a larger range of notes, but we only have to memorize one 5-note shape, and we won't have to memorize 5 shapes that span across 6 strings. It's the diagonal pentatonic, and if you're really looking to play more musically, this is what you've been searching for. So the diagonal pentatonic looks like this. It's a 2-3 pattern, so I'll begin on the 6th string, and the shape has the root as the 2nd note in the minor pentatonic shape. So we're used to this shape here. But we're going to start here behind the root and play 2 notes. And then go to the 5th string and play 3 notes. And that's it. It's a 5-note shape. Those are all of the notes in the minor pentatonic scale. Then you just take that exact same shape and you copy and paste it. So we end up here on the 7th fret. Now I go down below here and do the exact same shape on the 4th string. 2 notes, followed by 3. Then I move up to the 8th fret because of the tuning difference. You always have to do that no matter what shape you're using. So we went up, instead of staying on the 7th fret, we went up to the 8th fret and we play the exact same shape again. 2 notes, followed by 3. Here's 3 octaves of the minor pentatonic, or the diagonal minor pentatonic. let me show you now how I would use that over a track to be a little bit more musical, but I'm only looking at 5 notes at a time, like that. Now you can see and hear that it gives you more choices without breaking your brain with tons of shapes. It's the same 5-note shape over and over. So it's very easy to locate and be musical with it and not sound scalar. Matter of fact, if I don't want to play off of that A, I could just play it off of this A. It's always going to be located right behind the root, a whole step behind the root. So if you know an A anywhere, here's an A. Very easy to find that pattern. Now what if you don't want to only play the 5 notes of the pentatonic? Then let's add 1 major scale, and that will give us 2 additional notes. And we can easily do this with major-minor relativity. It works like this. You take your standard minor pentatonic box, 1, that you might already know. And we're going to use the bottom 2 notes here because the first note is what we're playing here with the index finger is the minor root. Our relative major root is the second note of the scale shape, right there. In this case, it happens to be C. The relative major means the major key that uses the exact same 7 notes as the minor key. So the relative key to A minor is C major. They both use the exact same group of notes, A minor and C major. Now, if I go up to the relative major note, which in this case is C, I can play a C major scale. Now that gives me a bit more versatility if I want to step out of my minor pentatonic for a bit and add some extra intervals. Here's what it can add to your playing. Now you can hear when I switch to the C major scale, I purposely didn't just run up and down the scale shape because that's what's going to make it sound scalar. Instead, I tried to keep things relatively simple and play on 1 or 2 strings most of the time and stay focused that way. Now, I did move around a bit, but for the most part, I was playing very simple patterns like this. That's a major 7 arpeggio, for example, but I'm really just basing it off of the C major scale, which is here. And when I keep things simple like that, it gives me a better chance to listen to what I'm playing over so that I make better note choices and end up playing with the music as opposed to just over it. And I really like adding the relative major scale to a minor pentatonic as it does change things up and add some refreshing color to what I'm playing. So there you have 3 ideas of ways that you can spice up your playing and make it more musical right away. Even if you're only playing 4 fret positions, you can make it happen that way. But the key to everything that I'm talking about is limiting your focus and not seeing a whole scale at once. Look at a very small portion of the scale and it's going to pay off with musicality. Now, if you'd like to take a deeper dive into soloing musically, I just released my new guitar course called The Musical Way to Solo, and we cover exactly these subject items as well as much more. Make sure to check that out with the link in the description below. And if the soloing discussion has piqued your interest in arpeggios a little bit more, I recently made a video about that, and you can check that out right here.